It's started. So Talha, please start.
Assalamu alaikum and happy Ramadan. First of all, I'm Mohammad Talha and I'm a branch manager at Peshawar region. So I have been working with Worldwide Study Advisor for the last 4 years, and today we are representing Hartpury University, which is located in UK. So please in touch with us and please see our expo for further information.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम एवरीवन हैप्पी रमज़ान टू ऑल ओवर द फैसलाबाद एंड पूरे पाकिस्तान में। मेरा नाम वदीद फजल है, मैं फैसलाबाद बरान से बिलोंग करती हूँ, WWSA से। हमारा एड्रेस आपकी स्क्रीन पे ऑनवर्ड चल रहा है। आप लोग हमें कांटेक्ट कर सकते हैं विद एवरी क्यूरीज और रिलेटेड टू द हार्टफोर्ड यूनिवर्सिटी। आज हमारा एक्सपो है। जो क्वेश्चंस आप रिलेटेड आप हमें कमेंट्स में पूछ सकते हैं और क्वेश्चंस में पूछ सकते हैं। थैंक यू सो मच। ओवर टू द राउफ।
Assalamu alaikum, Rauf Ahmed here from Worldwide Trade Advisor Lahore. Our office is located at 753 Block C, near Cakes and Bakes, Castle Town, Lahore. आज का जो हमारा इन हाउस एक्सपो है वो हार्टपुर यूनिवर्सिटी का है, जिसमें हमारे पास कंट्री हेड मिस्टर अब्बास मलिक अवेलेबल हैं। तो स्टूडेंट की जो भी क्यूरीज हैं रिलेटेड टू यूनिवर्सिटी फैसिलिटीज, वो स्टूडेंट हमारा एक्सपो ज्वाइन करें या हमसे कांटेक्ट करके अपने जितनी भी क्यूरीज हैं वो क्लियर कर लें। थैंक यू।
सर अब्बास, मैं आपको बहुत वेलकम करती हूँ। थैंक यू सो मच फॉर ज्वाइनिंग अस टुडे। सो ओवर टू यू।
Right. Thank you so much for having me. So, my name is Abbas Malik, and I represent Hartpury University through GUS in Uni. Hartpury is a public sector university, but moreover, it's a very specialist university. And when we say specialist university, we mean a university that offers courses in areas which are not offered by any university or by majority of the universities within the UK. So the area in which we specialize, these are basically five areas, starting with agriculture. Then we have animal sciences, we have equine sciences, we have sports, and finally we have business. So these are the five key areas where in which we specialize. So about the university, university is located in the southwest of England. The city in which we are located, it's called Gloucester. If you talk about the cities which are near to Gloucester, we have Cardiff and Bristol on one side, and the distance approximately is from 15 minutes to 1 hour. And on the other side, we have Birmingham, which is also approximately 1 hour away from Gloucester. And from London, we are approximately 2 hours away. So as you can see that we are very centrally located. So since we are a specialized university, so this university is spread on 360 hectares of area. That is a very huge area in which we are located. By comparison, if you want to know how huge 360 hectares means, so that means that basically you can incorporate 500 football pitches within this university. 500 football pitches within this university. It's so big. And the reason we are big is because the courses that we are offering, like for example, equine sciences, which is about horses or animals or agriculture related courses, all of these courses need to be taught on the practical ground, on the practical field. Even sports courses, right? These courses cannot be taught on in a classroom. So, for reference, uh, this university is home to we have stabling of over 230 horses on site. So there are 230 horses available on site. There are over 70 species available on site. So you can imagine how big the university is. Moreover, if we talk about some of the ratings and rankings of this university, so Hartpury number one has been ranked the specialist university for the year 2026 by Times and Sunday Times both. When it comes to our courses, so we are ranked in the top 10 in the UK for our majority of the program. So let me give you a highlight. So for example, we are in the top two for animal sciences and agriculture. We are in the top four in the UK for our sports sciences courses. We are ranked sixth in the UK for our teaching quality, and we are ranked seventh in the UK for our student satisfaction. Apart from that, we are a gold-rated university when it comes to teaching excellence framework. So, and our the graduate employability of this university is above 95%. So, now I'm sure you know to what we are talking about since I've started my argument with the fact that this is a very specialist university, right? So, people normally ask, what is the QS ranking of Hartpury, or where do we stand in terms of? So you have to understand that specialist universities, they do not have a QS ranking per se, right? These are specialist universities. So when you talk about a specialist university, these have their own domestic ratings and rankings within that specific country, right? So this is a very important point for students to understand, because it's a specialist university, so it has to have the local rankings of that particular country in which we rank at the top, right? So we are ranked at this as a specialist university for the year 26. Our student strength at the moment is approximately 4,500 students, and what that means for the student is that it basically provides two advantages for the students. Number one, because of a smaller classroom size, the students will get more one-on-one interaction with the course professor, right? And secondly, uh, for the international students, this means that the all of the job availability on campus, and there are sufficient job opportunities available within the campus. Like I said, the university is very big. There are 11 commercial hubs operating on the university premises, and they have plenty of jobs. We have student unions, clubs, all of these things have jobs. So these jobs, most of the time, the local community, they do not go for these jobs, right? So all of these then are available to the international student, right? So this is also one of the unique selling point of this university. And moreover, if you talk about Gloucester as a whole, so the wage rate at Gloucester is much better as compared to some of the top tier cities, which normally we hear about, like Manchester or Birmingham or even London. Like these are mainstream cities, right? But the problem in these cities are that these are now oversaturated, and because of the oversaturation and because of the multicultural people now living there, the wage rate has really dropped, right? People are working as low as for maybe 4, 5, 6 pounds per hour, whereas Gloucester is a majority English area, right? So what that means is that the students are getting the minimum wage rate, which is somewhat around 10 to 11 pounds per hour. I know for a fact that because I was like previously dealing with another university, which is also in Gloucester, named as University of Gloucestershire. So I know for a fact that people who even went for that university, they were working as high as up to 13 pounds per hour. Now, the reason I'm giving this example is not because everybody can expect 13 pounds per hour, but just to give you a reference that this is what the wage rate. So you can expect minimum wage rate of between 10 to 11 pounds. And not only just that, but the accommodation is really low. You can find good accommodations on campus as well as off campus, right? And the accommodation cost would be somewhere around 150 pounds, and it can go per week, and it can go all the way up to 200, 210 pounds, depending upon what the student takes. So and most importantly, the distance from the main Gloucester city campus, to the university is approximately 10 to 15 minutes. And there are buses operating every 20 to 30 minutes, and the bus stop is right at the gate of the university. So the student does not need to go anywhere. He or she will get the bus right at the gate of the university, and the buses are coming every 20 to 30 minutes, and they operate 7 days a week, right? So the students can easily go to the Gloucester City Center, and then they can return back, or they can even have accommodation in the Gloucester City Center, and they can commute daily to the university with no problems. Very importantly, the university is open for the September intake. We have a range of excellent courses being offered for both undergraduate and postgraduate. And the students are encouraged to apply as early as possible, because with the changing dynamics, previously used to happen was that students used to like wait for the last moment, and then at the last moment they used to apply, and this usually causes visa delays, at some occasions even getting their cash withdrawn. So I encourage students who are listening to your platform to please not wait, that there's still time. अभी तो रमजान चल रहा है, ईद पे देखेंगे, ईद के बाद देखेंगे, which is the common mentality here. You see, technically you can get a cash 6 months prior to your course start date, and you can fly to the UK 1 month prior to your course start date, right? And CAS and getting the visa are two very important steps for any international student. So please apply early on. Try to get your documents completed, and moreover, we have a scholarship which has a deadline, right? The scholarship is called Pro Vice Chancellor Scholarship for £3,000. The deadline is 30th April 2025. The scholarship is worth £3,000. You need to submit an essay. The title of the essay is going to be "How would your Hartpury qualification help you towards achieving a better future?" And this would be a 500 words essay. So I would encourage students to apply early on, complete the conditions, get the conditional or unconditional offer letter from the university, and please apply for this scholarship.
Uh, Here have I have some questions related to which you tell us
Yeah.
about the things. The first of all, as you said, that the small classrooms. So small classroom interact with the good teachers. The teacher are faculty, especially are the outside from the UK. Are there international faculties, and what about that?
So faculty is always a mix of, but majority of the faculty of the university is from within the UK.
Okay, ठीक हो गया. And then the you said that the scholarship which is worth I think 3,000, and which is we need to submit the essay. To submit the essay with the application during applying from before the CUL or after the CUL we will apply for the scholarship.
No, after the CUL. So what happens is the application process is that you submit an application through the GUS in Uni platform, right? GUS gateway,
Yes.
and you will after you submit the application, along with the documents, you will get a COA, which is a confirmation of your application. It will have the student name, it will have the course name, it will have the course duration, the tuition fee, and it will also have an automatic scholarship, of which I will inform you later the amount, right? And it will have the conditions, the pending conditions would be mentioned in that COA along with this interview link, right? So what the student needs to do is that if no documents are pending, or if any English language test is pending, that is fine. The student is preparing in the meanwhile. What the student needs to do is that he or she needs to prepare for the interview, right? And book the interview through the link given in that COA. If you want me, I am available to help student and have a mock interview with them before the final interview, right? So that way, I would be able to tell how much prepared the student is, and I will at the same time tell their counselors that these are the shortcomings the student has, so please work on them, right? And very importantly, I encourage or I encourage counselors to encourage students to have mock interview with me, because what happens is that because the student is like regularly meeting the counselor, so they try to get in a comfort zone, right? So when you tell them that you're having an interview with the university representative, so he and she obviously is going to be a little bit nervous. He or she is going to be a little bit careful. He's going to be a little bit anxious. So what happens is they tend to make mistakes, right? And
Definitely.
so this is what we point out, that these are some of the mistakes that you did. And so what this basically increases their chance in the actual interview. So once the interview is done, the application then refers to the university, and based on, if no document is pending, the student will get the unconditional offer letter. If a document is pending, the student will get a conditional offer letter. Once you get the university offer letter, you can immediately go to the website and apply for the scholarship, right? And
Okay, perfect. One more question I didn't hear, because these questions I was asking from the student side.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Basically, there are two scholarship most of the time. The international scholarship, which is available to every student, and this scholarship is separate. Will be go for. So student
Yeah.
can both avail both.
No. So what happens is that we have an automatic scholarship of either 1,000 pounds or 2,000 pounds, which I said earlier on that I will explain later on.
Yes.
So if a student, and most of the students have marks above 60%. So if you have marks above 60%, you will automatically get a 2,000 pound scholarship, right? And if your marks are less than 60%, you will get a 1,000 pound scholarship, right? But
Yes.
if you apply for the vice chancellor scholarship and you get that scholarship, so that will count and this one won't count. So you will either get the 3,000 pound scholarship, whichever is highest, right?
Oh,
So, yeah,
right. More clear.
yeah.
Uh, I can go for the more question, but if Talha and Rauf you have, you can ask further.
Yes, sir, as you said, there are opportunities for the students like in campus they can do a job. So during study, a student can do any part-time job in a campus. Is there any opportunity for that?
Yes, of course. Like I said previously, there are plenty of opportunities available for students on campus because there are 11 commercial hubs operating on the university campus. You see, this is not a one-story, two-story building university. It's a university which is spread on 360 hectares area, right? So it's a very huge university. The university has 11 businesses, 11 commercial hubs operating on the university premises. The university has student clubs, societies, right? So all of these places tend to have jobs, right? And most of these jobs are availed by the international student because the local student, the local Gora, I mean, does not tend to work in these jobs, right? So these jobs are then available to the international student, right? So there are plenty of opportunities available for the student on campus.
Okay, sir, thank you. Jiro, do you have any question?
So I count.
Please tell the student, like, are the is university has strong industry relations to help the students to secure jobs after graduation?
So the university, since we are a specialized university, so we have links with over 9,000 plus employers, right, across the United Kingdom. And moreover, you see, when you are coming to a specialist university and you're going to study a niche area, so rest assured you will not have a competition. So imagine a scenario and compare. I want you to compare two scenarios. So a student going for a, let's say, a data analytics course or a data science course or a cybersecurity course. So you see many universities are offering such programs, right? Even business programs, right? And obviously many students go for such courses like data science or data analytics or cybersecurity, computer science, right? Even MBA programs or global public health, just generic programs. See, so you have a lot of competition within the students in these programs because there are a lot of students going in the same program, and what that means is that there is a kind of a saturation, right? Whereas if a student is going for, let's say, equitational science program, or let's say sports therapy or physiotherapy course, or biodiversity conservation course, right? So these are the courses where you will not see such competition, right? Because these are specialist courses, and only students with a specific background, related background, will go to these programs, right? So you will not have that much of a competition between the students to apply for jobs. So that naturally raises their chances of employability. The university itself, like I said, the employability rate is above 95%, right? It's a specialist university and it's a specialist university within the UK. So that means that the job chances of the students is very, very high once they graduate from Hartpury University because of the factors that I've already explained above.
Uh, Thank you so much for explaining that detail. My question is related to agriculture university in the Faisalabad. We have a lot of the students who have the agriculture related degrees and they want to pursue specialist in this. So after reading the university website, I read it, the commercial farm specialization. So what the degrees you guys are offering in this special area?
So at the moment, for the September intake, unfortunately, for agriculture specifically, we don't have a postgraduate program offered at Hartpury University for September intake. But there are programs like I was talking about biodiversity conservation course, right? Students can apply for this particular course, right? So apart from that, but we do have some of the undergraduate courses available in the agriculture domain, like BSc Honors Agriculture or BSc honors agriculture with crop science or with livestock science, right? So these are some of the courses available within the agriculture domain. But for postgraduate, within the agriculture, this year we are not offering a program for the agriculture.
Okay. And what about the animal faculties? Do you offering
So
you
yeah,
do you
yeah,
have?
yeah. So yeah, so for animal, we have courses like animal sciences. We have courses like animal sciences, livestock. We have animal assisted counseling and physiotherapy. We have animal welfare policy and legislation. We have applied animal behavior and welfare, right? So
Big
these are some of
range.
the courses that we are offering. And by the way, we are also offering research courses in animal science and animal science livestock and also in equestrian science, which is related to horse.
Okay. And any early bird discount over there to submit
Yeah.
the fees
So
in full?
yeah. So there is a 5% discount, early bird discount. So if the student pays the entire tuition fee by 30th June 2026, the student will be eligible for an additional 5% discount. Apart from the scholarship, he or she will be eligible for the additional 5%.
Perfect. As
Sir, those
the core of good.
okay, those students who have already completed their master's degree in the UK can eligible to apply for second masters.
So, uh, the answer to this question actually lies with the student, right? There is no restriction from the university side on doing a second master's, right? So, what the student needs to justify is that why do they tend to do a second master's, right? What was their first degree related to, what was their previous education related to. Again, you have to understand that this is a specialist university, right? So a student cannot go to a biodiversity conservation course without a relevant background, or animal assisted counseling, or animal physiotherapy, or applied animal behavior without a relevant background, right? Or sports therapy courses or physiotherapy courses, right? The student will have to have a relevant background. So if the student has a relevant background, right, and they can demonstrate that their previous course was obviously, for example, a student with a DPT, for example, went to a business course, and now he wants or she wants to go into their specific field and do a master's there. So that makes absolutely sense, right? So yes, the students can apply for a second master's. There's no restriction from the university side. And within that area, I will also add that there's no restriction area-wise as well in Pakistan. I know that some of the universities are now having like putting restrictions that we are not going to recruit from certain areas in Pakistan, but Hartpury does not have any such restriction. So all of the Pakistan is open to apply.
Okay, for second masters, language test and bank statement are not required. Or
So
yes,
language test, if the
am I
student has
right?
done masters from the UK, right? So or any English language country, right? English speaking country, right? Yes, language test is not required. As for the bank statements, you see, bank statement is something which is relevant to the visa section of the of if the student living in the UK is applying again for a visa, and that falls into the category of the international visa. They might need to show their finances, right? That they have the finances to support themselves, right? So in that case, the statement may be necessary, right? But again, since this is a visa related question, so you have to understand that any rule which is applied to an international student, right? So if an international student sitting in Pakistan needs to submit a bank statement, right? A student, an international student who is sitting in the UK, but again he's applying for the visa, or she's applying for the visa within the UK, right? So they might need to show their bank statement again to justify that they have sufficient funds to cover their stay within the UK and cover their tuition fee, because they, after all, they are an international student, right? They are not local student, even though they are in the UK.
Okay. Is university also offering the master's courses with placement year having 2 years of duration?
No, We are not offering any specific course with placement. However, many of our courses do have the integrated specialization on field, on ground, right? Because obviously the courses that we are offering, there are specialized courses. So they are not like being taught in a classroom, right? So these are industrial accredited courses, right? With industrial experience that the students will get while studying. But as far as the question is concerned, no, we are not offering a 2 year placement course.
Okay, and the research courses are also available. Courses double take.
Research courses are available. However, just to confirm one thing, that these courses will not allow dependents because for the dependent factor, the course has to be 12 months or more. But our program, our research course are technically 9 months, right? So that is the reason why the dependents are not allowed for the research courses. But having said that, if a student has a good CGPA, they will not require a research proposal.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Good CGPA, how much? Like any percentage or any
So,
CGPA
so,
number?
so if a student has a 2.9 CGPA, they would not require a research proposal.
After 2.9.
Yeah, 2.9. I mean 2.9. If a student has a 2.9 CGPA, they will not require a research proposal for the MRes course. If a student has a less CGPA like 2.5 or 2.6, but they can still apply with the relevant research work or research paper.
Uh, One question more.
So one more. So my question is about like what is the application turnaround time, and like we have seen a number of universities like they are giving their offer letters in delays. So what is the turnaround time for the offer letters and the interview result for the cluster this
So,
Hartpury University?
so actually, the answer to this question depends upon you. And the reason I say that is because obviously the application, once the application is submitted in the on the GUS gateway, within 24 hours you will receive the COA, right? Which will have this all the details of the student. And now it's on you how quickly you prepare the student for the interview, and if any specific document like the statement of purpose is missing, which is a key document needed for the application to be submitted to the university, or any CV is missing, right? So apart from the educational documents, these two documents are very important: the statement of purpose and the CV, right? So if everything is completed, right, and the student clears the interview, the application gets referred to the university, and depending on which time of the year this is. So as we are in March right now, so and there is no rush at the moment. So technically, the university would like issue an offer letter within 48 hours maximum, or at max 3 days. Like, so their turnaround time is between 3 to 5 days, but I know for a fact that varies because on which part of the year you're actually applying. So normally it's within 48 hours or next 3 days that the university will send you an offer letter, and from there you can do. An important point is that the difference between Hartpury, I actually remember a very interesting point that I didn't mention earlier on. I just remembered from your question. So the interesting point about Hartpury is that unlike other universities which have been operating in Pakistan for a certain amount of time, for the past number of years, right? Hartpury has only just started operating in Pakistan. So what that means is that they do not have a history with the UKVI, right? Unlike the other universities who do, right? And by history, I mean obviously the UKVI looks at the compliance record of that particular university. When they look at the application, they will of course evaluate the application based on the student on the merits of that application, right? But at the same time, back in their mind, they will also look at the compliance record of that university. So, for example, a university who may not be that compliant earlier on in earlier years may have a higher chance of the student getting a visa call or even getting a visa rejection. So Hartpury offers this advantage that because it has a clean slate, it's a fresh university with no record of compliance with the UKVI. So that means the UKVI or visa officer is going to look at the visa application with an open mind, with a fresh mind, because they do not have a history to look at. ये बड़ा important point है जो I'm trying to make. Okay? And because the university is a specialist university and students are coming with a relevant specialist background in a specialist program, unlike other जहाँ पे फिजिक्स करके तो स्टूडेंट्स जो हैं वो बिजनेस में आ रहे होते थे या एजुकेशन पढ़ के बिजनेस में आ रहे होते थे, ठीक है। यहाँ पे स्टूडेंट्स जो हैं वो एक स्पेशलाइज्ड प्रोग्राम में आ रहे हैं विद अ रेलेवेंट बैकग्राउंड. सो ऑल ऑफ दिस एक्चुअली गोज इन द फेवर ऑफ स्टूडेंट बिकॉज द वीजा ऑफिसर कैन सी के स्टूडेंट्स जो हैं वो रेलेवेंट बैकग्राउंड के हैं, रेलेवेंट अपने ही रेलेवेंट फील्ड में जा रहे हैं. यूनिवर्सिटी की कोई हिस्ट्री नहीं है, एक फ्रेश यूनिवर्सिटी है जो ऑपरेट कर रही है पाकिस्तान में. So that actually raises the chances of number one, it lowers the chances of getting a visa call. Okay, and even if the student does get a visa call, the chances of securing that visa and clearing that interview is much more higher as compared to some of those mainstream universities जो पिछले 10 साल से 5 साल से 8 साल से पाकिस्तान मार्केट में ऑपरेट कर रही हैं, and they have a record, a track record of compliance with the UKVI. ठीक है, this is an important point to understand.
Perfect with that.
Okay, please tell the
This
students how much study gap is acceptable for undergraduate and postgraduate degree programs, and what is the eligibility criteria for both programs.
Okay, so the gap undergraduate के लिए number one, it's up to 2 years. ठीक है, can be 3 years depending upon how the student justifies within the SOP. For postgraduate, it's up to 10 years. ठीक है, but that does not mean कि 11वें साल वाला बच्चा जो है वो अप्लाई नहीं कर सकता. I always say कि जैसे एड लगा होता है ना, कोई प्रमोशन चल रही होती है सेल की, जिसके नीचे स्टार लगा होता है ना, टर्म्स एंड कंडीशंस अप्लाई. So same terms and conditions apply here as well. And by terms and conditions, what I mean is the student has to justify what have they been doing in these 10 years or in these 5 years or in these 6 years, and why have they decided now to return back to their education. अब क्यों डिसाइड किया है, ठीक है. So students can answer this question by justifying that they have a degree in relevant field, they have been doing work in their field, they have been saving money for their international education. In the meanwhile, they also got married, and yes, getting married is also a valid reason. Settling down is a valid reason, right? So, but back in their mind, they always had a thought that they would go abroad and finish their master's program. So that is a valid justification, right? So as long as student justifies the gap, why and what they have been doing and why they have decided now to come back to education, the gap can be acceptable up to 10 years.
Okay,
And yes,
and
आपने
what is
एंट्री
the
क्राइटेरिया पूछा
turnaround
था.
time?
सॉरी, आपने पहले एंट्री क्राइटेरिया पूछा था, मैं उस पर क्विकली बात कर दूं. तो एंट्री क्राइटेरिया फॉर अंडर ग्रेजुएट, सो अंडर ग्रेजुएट में वी आर नॉट ऑफरिंग फाउंडेशन ईयर एट द मोमेंट, राइट. We have programs with foundation, but we are not offering foundation here. And what that means is basically that for intermediate students, unfortunately, we are not offering any particular program. So intermediate students जो हैं, यानी जिन्होंने 12 साल की एजुकेशन की है या HSC जो किया हुआ है, ठीक है, वो अनफॉर्चुनेटली अंडर ग्रेजुएट में हमारे पास नहीं आ पाएंगे, ठीक है. लेकिन वो बच्चे जिनके पास कोई एसोसिएट डिग्री है with at least 65 to 70 credit hours या over 4 semesters उन्होंने पढ़े हों, ठीक है, या 2 years या 3 years का bachelor's degree in the relevant subject, they can apply for our undergraduate, or they have an A2 A levels qualification, they can apply for the undergraduate qualification. हो ये रहा था कि previously हम चूंकि इंटर के बच्चे को डायरेक्ट एंट्री नहीं दे रहे थे, तो हम इंटर के बच्चे को फाउंडेशन ईयर में ले रहे थे, ठीक है. लेकिन अब उन्होंने इस साल थोड़ा सा रूल्स को चेंज किया है कि एट द मोमेंट वो इंटरमीडिएट वाले स्टूडेंट को जो है वो एक्सेप्ट नहीं कर रहे. सो आइदर एसोसिएट डिग्री हो विद 65 to 70 क्रेडिट आवर्स और ओवर 4 सेमेस्टर्स, और a 2 years or 3 years bachelor's degree हो in a relevant subject and or A levels, ठीक है, and then they can apply for the undergraduate degree. For postgraduate, हमारी जो requirement है, that was 2.7 CGPA, right? Or 60%. However, students coming with less CGPA, जिसका 2.5 है या 55% marks हैं, they can still apply if they can demonstrate a relevant experience. Okay, so ऐसा नहीं है कि 2.5 वाले को मना हो जाएगा, 2.5 वाला बच्चा है लेकिन उसके पास अगर रेलेवेंट एक्सपीरियंस है फील्ड का तो वो एक्सपीरियंस की बेस के ऊपर भी कंसिडर हो जाएगा, राइट। सो ये आप लोगों ने देखना है कि स्टूडेंट का अगर सीजीपीए कम है बट रेलेवेंट क्वालिफिकेशन एक्सपीरियंस के साथ है तो आप उसको जरूर अप्लाई करें, ठीक है।
And what is the turnaround time of offer letter after submitting the application?
वो तो मैंने आपको ऑलरेडी एक्सप्लेन कर दिया कि आफ्टर सबमिटिंग द एप्लीकेशन टू द यूनिवर्सिटी, ठीक है जी, at max within 48 to 72 hours you will receive an offer letter from the university.
Sir, my question is related to the languages because MOI is not is ideal now.
जी,
So, what are the most preferable language after IELTS you are considered?
so apart from IELTS and PT of course, ठीक है,
Of course,
we accept language cert self version which is the center based version. We are also accepting Oxford ELLT digital version, and we are accepting TOEFL IBT center based, not the home version, but the center based version, right?
center.
So yes, so for IELTS we require 6.5 overall with no less than 5.5. For PT we require 63 with no less than 59. For language search self we require a B2 between 64 to 70 score. And for TOEFL, we require a 70 to 80, sorry, from 60 to 70
67.
band. Yeah. And for Oxford, we require an overall score of 7.
Okay. Sir, one more question related to the UG program. Like, as per A level, O level, A level students, what are the CGs we accepting the most least? Like, कम marks के साथ कितने grades हम accept करेंगे A level?
देखें, अगर सीज हैं या एक बी है, दो सीज हैं या बी सी डी है तो वो टेक्निकली वो एक्सेप्टेबल होना चाहिए, ठीक है, बट ई नहीं होना चाहिए, ठीक है,
E ना हो.
ई ना हो।
ठीक ठीक हो गया. And what about the as a Pakistan student, the most asked question, the installments. How many installments of fees can we get over there?
So actually, we are very flexible in terms of our fee payment. So for cash, we require 50% of the net tuition fee after scholarship, right? So our tuition fee at the moment is 17,500 pounds, which is the gross tuition fee. Imagine if you get a 2,000 pound scholarship,
Mm-hmm.
which is normally what the students are getting. So your tuition fee will come down to 15,500 pounds. So
Yes.
15,500 pounds का 50% जो है वो रफली अराउंड 7,750 समथिंग या 25 पाउंड समथिंग बनेगा। तो आप 8,000 पाउंड माइंड में रख लें, ठीक है। अगर बच्चे को 3,000 पाउंड का मिल जाता है तो आपकी ट्यूशन फी जो है वो 15,500 की बजाय 14,500 हो जाएगी, ठीक है।
बिल्कुल.
और 14,500 का जो 50% बनेगा वो 7,200 समथिंग कुछ इस तरह से बनेगा, ठीक है। तो डिपेंडिंग अपॉन क्या मिलता है। अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, अगर स्टूडेंट फुल फीस पे करता है तो उस पर 5% एडिशनल उसको डिस्काउंट मिल जाता है अगर वो 30 जून तक अपनी फुल ट्यूशन फी पे कर देगा। जो रिमेनिंग इंस्टॉलमेंट है, रिमेनिंग जो है उसको पेमेंट प्लान आएगा बच्चे को। सो आइदर ही और शी कैन एक्सेप्ट 3 टर्मली पेमेंट्स या 3 टर्म पेमेंट्स वो करेगा, ठीक है, और ही और शी कैन एक्सेप्ट एन 8 इक्वल मंथली इंस्टॉलमेंट्स। तो 8 इक्वल मंथली इंस्टॉलमेंट्स में वो अपनी ट्यूशन फी पे कर सकता है। तो जो रिमेनिंग आपका 7,500 या 8,000 पाउंड है, अगर आप उसको 8 इंस्टॉलमेंट्स में करें तो रफली आपका कोई 1,000 पाउंड के करीब आपका जो है वो पर मंथ आएगा, विच इज वेरी अफोर्डेबल फॉर द स्टूडेंट्स टू मैनेज while living in Gloucester.
For the girls student mostly asking question, is there any pickup points from the airport pickup facility services available for the university from the
So
university?
so so yes, university actually was offering an all-inclusive plan of for the undergraduate. That it was offering a 30,000 or 32,000 pound approximately all-inclusive plan, which had the first year tuition fee,
Mm-hmm.
which had the living cost for the 1 year, which included all the linen and cutlery and everything that the student needs on campus, and that included 6 transfers in a year
Mm.
to and from the airport to the university and back, right? So that was all included in this
Plan.
package. Apart from that, As I said, that the university is of course accessible. Like the airport distance from Birmingham or Cardiff is approximately 1 hour, and from this Bristol is under 1 hour, right? So all of these airports are within 1 hour distance from the university, and the students can easily manage. I'm not sure that there's a specific pickup facility by the university, but yes, that can be like checked with the university while the student applies. That is there a specific pickup option? But the only pickup option was included within the inclusive package for the
Right.
undergraduate students. For the postgraduate, obviously, since there are mature students, so obviously they tend to like come to the university, and apart from that, if the student is also staying in Gloucester, so there are buses operating every 20-30 minutes, and they are dropping off students right at the gate of the university, so no
I
problem
was going
as
to ask
commute.
you one more popular question. As you said that earlier, that there are 2 hour difference from the London.
Yeah.
So is it for the PG student it is affordable, or you can say that it's an ideal situation to go on a stay on a London and come to the classes for the Hartpury? Do you suggest that?
uh, I would not suggest that.
Mm-hmm.
Why would the student do that? Number one, London being the capital city is very expensive. लंदन में accommodation महंगी है, लंदन में फूडिंग लॉजिंग हर चीज महंगी है, ट्रांसपोर्टेशन महंगी है, accommodation cost बहुत ज्यादा हाई है, ठीक है. नंबर टू ये कि like other cities, main top tier cities, London is also saturated, ठीक है. just because it's capital does not mean कि it's overflowing with jobs and ठीक है, it's saturated, ठीक है. So I would never ever recommend student to stay in London unless they have a family there, right? अगर तो फैमिली है, ठीक है, यस, फिर वो रह सकते हैं, ठीक है. बट अगर फैमिली नहीं है, ठीक है, और वो कह रहे हैं कि जी हम लंदन में जॉब करके आ जाएंगे, तो लंदन में अकोमोडेशन भी महंगी है, ठीक है. लंदन से बेहतर जॉब उनको ग्लॉस्टर में मिल जाएगी, ठीक है. और ग्लॉस्टर में उनको रेंट भी कम है, और ग्लॉस्टर में वेज रेट भी अच्छा है, जो मैंने स्टार्ट में बात की, ठीक है. सो और चूंकि आप एक नीश यूनिवर्सिटी में जा रहे हैं, यूनिवर्सिटी के अपने फार्म्स हैं, अपना कमर्शियल हब्स हैं, ठीक है. सो यहाँ पे बहुत सारी जो जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज हैं, वो तो स्टूडेंट्स को ऑन कैंपस ही मिल जाएंगी, ठीक है. So there's no need for the student to go to any other city for the sake of work. And अगर उसने जाना भी है तो फिर कार्डिफ को देख ले, ब्रिस्टल को देख ले, बर्मिंघम को देख ले, जो कि within 1 hour distance है from the university.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay, as you Alshem earlier mentioned that there is 11 commercial hub in the university, if I'm not wrong. Then what is
Yeah.
the most popular field in this hub?
So 11 commercial hubs जो हैं ये basically business के हैं, ठीक है. They have different domains, but obviously those domains are all within the scope of the what the university has to offer, ठीक है. जैसे business program है, ठीक है, तो business से relevant होगा, agriculture से relevant होगा, इक्वाइन से होगा, स्पोर्ट्स से होगा, ठीक है. तो बच्चा जो अपनी फील्ड में जा रहा है, ठीक है, उसने अपनी फील्ड से रेलेवेंट चीजें देखनी है कि वो उसको कहाँ पे जॉब या वो काम कर सकता है एज अ पार्ट टाइम स्टूडेंट, ठीक है. बट ऑब्वियसली जो कमर्शियल हब्स हैं वो तमाम फील्ड्स को कवर कर रहे होते हैं, बिकॉज दैट इज द होल पॉइंट.
बिल्कुल ठीक हो गया. माशाल्लाह आपने काफ़ी डिटेल्ड हम लोगों को बता दिए, सारे जो क्वेश्चन से ऑलमोस्ट कवर हो गए. रऊफ एंड तलहा, इफ यू गाइस हैव एनी क्वेश्चन यू गो अहेड.
Yes,
मेरा एक लास्ट
my
क्वेश्चन
question
है.
is about.
जी आप पूछ लें.
मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि अगर कोई स्टूडेंट आजकल में हमसे प्रोसेस करवाता है और एज सुन एज ही कैन कंप्लीट देयर कंडीशन, कैश लेटर कितना जल्दी स्टूडेंट को मिल सकता है फॉर सितंबर इनटेक?
सो कैश जो है यूनिवर्सिटी फॉर एग्जाम्पल अभी मार्च में है, तो बाय अगर मार्च में अपनी सारी कंडीशन वो पूरी कर लेता है, तो बाय अप्रैल यूनिवर्सिटी इनवॉइस इशू कर देगी, ठीक है. स्टूडेंट अपना पेमेंट प्लान सेट करके initial deposit pay कर देगा, and like I said कि technically 6 months from the course start date student can apply for the cash, ठीक है. So as soon as the fees is paid, the next step would be to send documents for the cash. We are not on cash shield at the moment, so आप जो documents send करेंगे वो through email करेंगे, ठीक है, जिसमें बैंक स्टेटमेंट भी required होगी by the way, ठीक है. सो आप वो सारे डॉक्यूमेंट लगा के आप भेज देंगे. सो इफ एवरीथिंग चेक्स इन, स्टूडेंट्स would receive cash, ठीक है. So and then they can obviously apply for the visa.
अच्छा, एक वर्स्ट केस में डिस्कस कर लेते हैं. इन केस अगर स्टूडेंट लेट रिसीव करता है डिसीजन फ्रॉम यूकेवीआई, तो यूनिवर्सिटी जो है फर्दर एक्सटेंशन प्रोवाइड करती है इनरोलमेंट के लिए.
अच्छा देखें, ये तो यूनिवर्सिटी अभी ऑपरेट कर ही रही है पाकिस्तान में, ठीक है, मतलब अभी स्टार्ट ही हुआ यूनिवर्सिटी, ठीक है, और लास्ट ईयर जो बच्चे थे उनमें से तो कोई लेट नहीं हुआ था। ठीक है, ठीक है, और जनवरी के बाद तो जनवरी इनटेक हमारा था नहीं, ठीक है, सितंबर अब इनटेक है, ठीक है। One of the reasons I keep encouraging students to apply early on is because of the fact that why delay and then risk the chance of getting your cash withdrawn, जैसे बहुत सारी यूनिवर्सिटीज में हुआ है। आप क्यों ये रिस्क लेना चाहते हैं, ठीक है, आप क्यों टाइम से अप्लाई नहीं करते, ठीक है, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि हमारे बच्चे अंडरस्टैंड करें। बट यस, तमाम यूनिवर्सिटीज जो हैं वो एक सर्टन लिमिट तक एक्सटेंशन प्रोवाइड करती हैं। हार्टपुरी भी करेगी, कितनी करेगी ये मैं इस स्टेज पे नहीं, इसका मैं जवाब दे सकता, ठीक है, क्योंकि ऑब्वियसली सर्कमस्टांसेस पे डिपेंड करता है कि यूनिवर्सिटी स्टेज में क्या डिसाइड करती है, ठीक है। बट प्लीज एक्सटेंशंस के चक्कर में नहीं पड़ना, ठीक है। स्टूडेंट्स को आप लोग इनकरेज ये करें कि इंस्टेड ऑफ looking for extensions and putting your whole academic journey at risk, please apply earlier on. Please complete the conditions earlier on, and please file the visa as early as possible ताकि आप लोगों को किसी भी किस्म की दुश्वारी से, किसी भी किस्म की प्रॉब्लम से आप लोग जो हैं वो बच सकें।
Got it. Thank you.
सर, हटपुरी यूनिवर्सिटी जो प्रीवियस स्टूडेंट्स का कोई रिफ्यूजल आया हो प्रीवियस इनटेक में जस्ट फॉर लाइक विड्रॉ केस हुआ है उसकी वजह से रिफ्यूजल आया, तो ऐसे स्टूडेंट को एक्सेप्ट करती है?
देखिए, रिफ्यूजल के ऊपर यूनिवर्सिटी की कोई कोई रिस्ट्रिक्शन नहीं है, ठीक है, ये, लेकिन मैं टेक्निकली मैं खुद रिफ्यूजल्स को सपोर्ट नहीं करता, लेकिन जैसे अब आपने एक स्पेसिफिक केस बताया कि ड्यू टू कैश विड्रॉन रिफ्यूजल हो गया, तो ये तो कोई रिफ्यूजल नहीं है ना, ये तो वो डिले था, कैश विड्रॉ हो गया, यूनिवर्सिटी ने उन्होंने एप्लीकेशन रिफ्यूज कर दी, सो दैट इज नॉट अ रिफ्यूजल। तो मेक श्योर कि आप ये चीज एक्सप्लेन करें इन द statement of purpose that I have a refusal, but the reason for the refusal was that I was not getting the decision and the university withdrew my cash, and that is why I requested for my application to be withdrawn, but my visa was declined or refused, ठीक है। तो ये कोई रीजन नहीं है, ठीक है। हाँ, अगर कोई बच्चा इंटरव्यू की बेस के ऊपर उसका वीजा रिफ्यूज हुआ है, ठीक है, तो ऐसे बच्चे को ऑब्वियसली आई वुड नॉट इनकरेज टू अप्लाई, एंड द रीजन इज कि हार्टपुरी इज अ न्यू यूनिवर्सिटी इन दिस मार्केट, ठीक है, जहां बहुत सारी यूनिवर्सिटीज बंद हो रही हैं इस मार्केट से, विड्रॉ कर रही हैं मार्केट से, ठीक है। वहां पे ये यूनिवर्सिटी एक रिस्क लेके इस मार्केट में आ रही है, ठीक है। तो व्हाट वी डोंट वांट इज कि दुकान खुलने से पहले ही बंद हो जाए। आई होप आई एम मेकिंग सेंस, ठीक है। तो दुकान खुलने से पहले नहीं बंद करनी, ठीक है। वी नीड टू इंश्योर कि वी प्रोवाइड गुड क्वालिटी स्टूडेंट्स, ठीक है, जिनका हमें पता हो कि दे क्या, बिकॉज आपने आपने देख ही लिया कि यूनिवर्सिटी की अपनी जो स्ट्रेंथ है वो सिर्फ 4500 स्टूडेंट्स है अप्रोक्सीमेटली, ठीक है। सो दैट मीन्स कि वी रिलाई ऑन क्वालिटी स्टूडेंट्स एंड नॉट क्वांटिटी स्टूडेंट्स, ठीक है। हमें क्वांटिटी नहीं चाहिए, हमें क्वालिटी चाहिए, ठीक है। एंड दैट ऑल्सो स्टैंड्स ट्रू फॉर अनफॉर्चुनेटली फॉर स्टूडेंट्स जो कि अनफॉर्चुनेटली इनका वीजा रिजेक्ट हो गया था ड्यू टू इंटरव्यू या कोई किसी डॉक्यूमेंट की वजह से, या जो तो ऐसे स्टूडेंट्स को अवॉइड करें। हाँ, जो आपने अर्लियर सर्कमस्टांसेस बताए थे जैसे कैश विड्रॉ की वजह से हुआ है, वो कोई रीजन नहीं है, उसको आप एक्सप्लेन करें एंड करें। मैं वेरी क्विकली बिफोर वी लाइक एंड दिस सेशन और कुछ, मैं एक एसओपी के ऊपर बात करना चाह रहा था। तो स्टेटमेंट ऑफ पर्पस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट व्हेन इट कम्स टू हार्टपुरी। उसमें जो की एरियाज हैं उसमें आप इंट्रोडक्शन करते हैं, व्हाई डू यू चूज यूके, ये तो आप बताते ही हैं, ठीक है। व्हाई द स्पेसिफिक कोर्स, इसके ऊपर भी आप बात करेंगे। व्हाई हार्टपुरी, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, ठीक है। तो यूनिवर्सिटी को अपनी तारीफें सुनने का बहुत शौक है, ठीक है, तो मेक श्योर कि वाई हार्टपुरी के अंदर आप थोड़ा सा एक्स्ट्रा डेडिकेशन जो है स्टूडेंट को कह के दिखाए, रिसर्च शो करे, ठीक है। उसको पता है कि यूनिवर्सिटी क्या है, कैसे है, एक प्रॉपर, ठीक है, लव, एक प्रॉपर डेडिकेशन जो है वो शो होनी चाहिए। फ्यूचर प्लान्स आर अगेन वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, टू मेक श्योर कि फ्यूचर प्लान्स जो है वो उसके अंदर क्लियरली मेंशन हो, ठीक है। एआई कंटेंट नहीं होना चाहिए, प्लेजरिज्म जो है शुड बी लेस देन 20%, ठीक है। तो इन चीजों का थोड़ा सा ख्याल रखना है। दूसरा जो इंपॉर्टेंट डॉक्यूमेंट है वो है सीवी।
सर काइंडली रिपीट, 20% प्लेजरिज्म आपने बोला?
जी, लेस देन 20%
लेस
प्लेजरिज्म।
देन,
जी
ओके।
जी जी जी। दूसरा जो इंपॉर्टेंट डॉक्यूमेंट है वो सीवी है। तो सीवी में आपने मेक श्योर करना है कोई ब्लाइंड स्पॉट ना हो। ब्लाइंड स्पॉट से क्या मतलब है? ब्लाइंड स्पॉट से मतलब मेरा ये है कि स्टूडेंट अप्लाई कर रहा है 2026 के इनटेक के लिए, और उसका जून 2025 के बाद कोई एक्सपीरियंस, कुछ शो एक्टिविटी शो नहीं हो रही, या जुलाई 2025 के बाद कोई एक्टिविटी शो नहीं हो रही, ठीक है। तो आपने ये इसको कैसे ओवरकम करना है? आइदर तो उसका जो करंट एक्सपीरियंस है वो, अगर वो कंटिन्यू कर रहा है तो उसको कंटिन्यू करें इसके एक्सपीरियंस को। अगर वो कंटिन्यू नहीं कर रहा तो मेक श्योर कि आप उसके अंदर कोई जर्नी ऐड करें, जैसे वो इंग्लिश टेस्ट की प्रिपरेशन कर रहा है या वो अपने एडमिशन्स की प्रिपरेशन कर रहा है या एडमिशन ले रहा है, इन चीज़ों की तैयारी करें। बट मेक श्योर कि उसकी जो सीवी है उसके अंदर एक एक्टिविटी शो हो, ठीक है जी, टेक्निकली 3 मंथ्स प्रायर टू द कोर्स स्टार्ट डेट, ठीक है। तो कोर्स अगर सितंबर में स्टार्ट हो रहा है, ठीक है, तो वो एटलीस्ट शो ये करे कि वो जून तक, नेक्स्ट इस साल जून तक या अप्रैल तक, मई तक क्या कर रहा है, ठीक है। ये थोड़ा सा उसके अंदर शो हो जाए। दूसरी बात ये कि नॉर्मली सीवी में एक्सपीरियंस में जस्ट ईयर्स लिखा होता है, जैसे किसी ने काम किया 2019 से लेके 26 तक, तो उसमें सिर्फ ईयर्स लिखे हैं। अगर आप 19 से 26 देखें तो ये 7 ईयर्स बन जाते हैं, ठीक है। बट अगर कोई कहे कि जी मैं 19 नवंबर में मैंने ज्वाइन किया था और 26 जैन को मैंने छोड़ दिया, तो ये 7 ईयर्स नहीं बनते, ये कम बनते हैं बिकॉज ऑफ द मंथ्स। तो ये इंश्योर करें कि जो मंथ्स मंथ्स है वो मेंशन हो, डेट नहीं भी मेंशन तो खैर, लेकिन मंथ और ईयर जो है वो सीवी के, ताकि बिकॉज दे लाइक टू कैलकुलेट द एक्सपीरियंस ना, स्पेशली फॉर दो स्टूडेंट्स जिनका सीजीपीए कम है, लाइक 2.5 है, लेकिन वो बेस्ड ऑन देयर एक्सपीरियंस अप्लाई करें, ऐसे बच्चे अप्लाई कर सकते हैं, ठीक है। तो ये दो डॉक्यूमेंट्स का आपने ख्याल रखना है वाइल
सीवी
अप्लाई।
रिलेटेड कुछ स्पेशल फॉर्मेट है या सिर्फ
नो,
एक्सपीरियंस का ख्याल रखना है?
आपने जस्ट डेट्स का और ब्लाइंड स्पॉट्स का ख्याल नहीं रखना, ठीक है। कोई क्वालिफिकेशन अगर ओवरलैपिंग कोई क्वालिफिकेशन हो रही है तो उसको एसओपी के अंदर आप एक्सप्लेन कर दें। अदर देन दैट कोई कोई फॉर्मेट नहीं है, जो भी बच्चे का फॉर्मेट है जिस भी फॉर्मेट के अंदर है, एज लॉन्ग एज वो
सीवी
चीजें
से मेरे माइंड में कोई क्वेश्चन आया है। मोस्ट स्टूडेंट आते हैं जो बीएस करके आते हैं, साथ उन्होंने फर्दर ऑन एमएड किया होता है या कुछ और साथ चीज़ें लेके चल रहे होते हैं। तो क्या हमें आप एडली रिकमेंड करते हैं यूनिवर्सिटी की तरफ से कि वो भी चीज़ें ऐड करें, क्योंकि ये ना हो कि ओवर क्वालिफिकेशन होने वजह से फिर एडमिशन ना मिले?
नहीं। पहली बात तो ये कि अच्छा कि आपने सवाल किया, क्योंकि इस सवाल से रिलेटेड एक चीज और मैंने क्लियर करता चाहूँ कि जो हमारा पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट है उसके लिए हमारा जो क्राइटेरिया है, दैट रिक्वायर्स अ 4 years अंडर ग्रेजुएट डिग्री, ठीक है, यानी 4 साल का डिग्री
तो
होनी
टू
चाहिए,
प्लस
ठीक है।
टू नहीं?
2+2 नहीं, ठीक है, ठीक है। अब अगर किसी के पास 4 साल की डिग्री है और उसके पास मजीद कोई क्वालिफिकेशन है तो यस वो ऐड कर सकता है वो क्वालिफिकेशन, ठीक है। बट ये थोड़ा सा ध्यान अगेन रखना है कि वो ओवर क्वालिफिकेशन वाला जो क्वेश्चन है वो अगेन वो आता तो है बिल्कुल कि बच्चा पीएचडी करके वापस मास्टर्स क्यों कर रहा है, ठीक है। ये वाली चीज नहीं होनी चाहिए, ठीक है। सो वो जो है वो एक चीज शो करनी। हाँ, अगर उसने कोई एमएस का कोई कोर्स किया हुआ है या एमएड किया हुआ है, ठीक है जी, या एमफिल किया हुआ है, ठीक है, और उसने उसमें कोई रिसर्च टॉपिक किया, वो अगेन अपनी फील्ड में रिसर्च करना चाह रही हैं या करना चाह रहे हैं, ठीक है, तो वो बिल्कुल उसको शो कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि वो तो रेलेवेंसी उन्होंने दिखानी है, प्लस वो उनका कनेक्शन भी शो करता है कि वो एजुकेशन से कनेक्टेड है, ठीक है। क्योंकि समटाइम्स ये भी होता है कि बच्चे ने जो बैचलर्स था वो तकरीबन 10 साल पहले किया था, दोबारा उसने मास्टर्स में एडमिशन लिया या एमएड किया या कोई चीज उसने की या एमफिल किया, ठीक है। तो वो आपको इसलिए भी दिखाना है टू शो कि द स्टूडेंट इज कनेक्टेड विद द एजुकेशन, ठीक है।
एजुकेशन, यही
वो
मेरा मेन
जी
क्वेश्चन था ना, क्योंकि हम
जी
ये दिखाते दिखाते ये ना हो कि एडमिशन ही ना मिले, वो क्या ओवर क्वालिफाइड एंड दैट्स इट।
नहीं, इस तरह से नहीं
फिर
होता।
मेरे
वो आपने अगेन इन सब चीजों का जो पूरा दारोमदार है ना, वो स्टेटमेंट ऑफ पर्पस के ऊपर है,
डेफिनेटली
ठीक है। कि बच्चा बच्चा क्यों, बट व्हाई ही और शी डिसाइडेड टू ऑप्ट फॉर दिस प्रोग्राम आफ्टर हैविंग दिस क्वालिफिकेशन, ठीक है। तो ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है।
वेरी इंफॉर्मेटिव। थैंक यू सो मच सर, आपने हमें बड़े डिटेल से एंड वेरी ईच एंड एवरीथिंग कॉर्नर को कवर करते हुए आपने दिया है। थैंक यू सो मच फॉर माय साइड एंड एज वेल तलहन रऊफ। बेसिकली हमारे कॉन्सेप्ट्स क्लियर तो काफ़ी थे, लेकिन आज मजीद जो यूनिवर्सिटीज़ की मेन मुझे तो जो अट्रैक्टिव एंड सेलिंग पॉइंट फॉर द एवरी वन स्टूडेंट जो अट्रैक्ट करना चाहेंगे, सबसे पहले जो 11 कमर्शियल हब्स इन द यूनिवर्सिटी विच इज़ द वेरी अट्रैक्टिव पॉइंट एज फॉर मी जो है मेन। उसके बाद स्कॉलरशिप का जो आपने बताया वो सेपरेटली हम एक ऐसे 500 का लेके स्टूडेंट को 3000 की मोर दे सकते हैं, वो और उसके लिए रिजनेबल हो जाएगा फीस को रिलेटेड।
जी
सो फ्रॉम माय साइड दैट्स इट। अगर आप लोगों को दोनों को कोई और क्वेश्चन है तो प्लीज गो एंड अदरवाइज वी विल वाइंड अप द क्वेश्चन सेशन।
That's all from my side. Thank you.
Another good point about the university was the installment plan, like 8 equal installments.
विच इज वेरी
देखें,
अफोर्डेबल फॉर द स्टूडेंट एज
जी
वेल।
जी, आप लोग जो है ना, मैं तो बैक एंड पे होगा, मेरी जो स्टूडेंट्स इंटरेक्शन होगी नहीं, ठीक है, आपके प्लेटफॉर्म के थ्रू होगी या किसी एक्सपो पे होगी, आप लोग यू आर द मेन फेस ऑफ द दिस, ठीक है।
डेफिनेटली।
सो प्रोडक्ट के ऊपर आप लोगों की कमांड होना बहुत जरूरी है, ठीक है। सो आई एम अवेलेबल, आई एम जस्ट अ व्हाट्सएप कॉल अवे और आई एम जस्ट अ फोन कॉल अवे, ठीक है। आपकी कोई भी क्वेरी हो, कोई भी चीज ना समझ आई हो, किसी चीज में कोई हल्का सा भी डाउट हो, फील फ्री टू रीच आउट। जितना आप रीच आउट करेंगे, आप जितना आप खुद कंफर्टेबल होंगे प्रोडक्ट के ऊपर, ठीक है, उतना ही आप उसको बेहतर सेल कर सकेंगे, ठीक है। यू गाइस आर द फेस, लाइक आई सेड, ठीक है। तो आप लोगों ने करना है। सो आप लोग, इसलिए मैं कोशिश करता हूँ कि सेशंस के अंदर जितना डिटेल से एक्सप्लेन कर सकूं। फिर भी समटाइम्स पॉइंट्स रह जाते हैं, जैसे एक हमारा कोर्स है बिजनेस मैनेजमेंट एंड एंटरप्राइज मास्टर्स, ठीक है। इस कोर्स की स्पेशलाइजेशन ये भी है कि दिस कोर्स इज एक्रीडेटेड बाय द चार्टर्ड मैनेजमेंट इंस्टीट्यूट, CMI, ठीक है। और इसका जो एक एडवांटेज है स्टूडेंट को, वो ये है कि once he or she finishes this degree, so he or she will not just get this degree, they will also get a level 7 diploma in strategic management and leadership from CMI, ठीक है। so basically उनको एक प्राइस में दो क्वालिफिकेशंस मिल रही हैं प्लस दी एक्रीडेशन, ठीक है। सो इस तरह की चीजें जो हैं, ये यूनिक सेलिंग पॉइंट्स होते हैं, हर कोर्स के डिफरेंट होते हैं। मैंने एक कोर्स का आपको मैंने बताया। सो मेक श्योर कि आप मैं चीजें भेजता रहता हूँ, आप वैसे वेबसाइट से भी इन्फॉर्मेशन ले सकते हैं, ठीक है। और किसी भी कोर्स की वजह से कुछ स्पेसिफिक चीज आप जानना चाह रहे हैं तो यू कैन ऑलवेज रीच आउट टू मी।
Definitely. Thank you so much for that. And as per the viewers, you can see हम लोगों को डिटेल ग्रिप्ट के साथ आपके लिए हाजिर हैं। जब भी आपको हटपुरी यूनिवर्सिटी से एडमिशन चाहिए, कोई क्वेरी है, कोई क्वेश्चन है, डू कॉन्टेक्ट वर्ल्ड वाइड स्टडी एडवाइजर्स। वी आर हेयर फॉर योर डिफरेंट सिटीज एज वेल फैसलाबाद, पेशावर एंड लाहौर, which is represented right now in front of you. So thank you so much. Thank you, Sarabas. Thank you, Talha, and thank you, Rauf, for joining the session and information there. Take care
थैंक्स,
and have a
थैंक यू
good
सो मच।
Ramadan as well. Thank
थैंक
you.
यू।
Allah Hafiz. Allah Hafiz.